Okay, Olympia prejudging is over! Oh my god. Okay, some very exciting things happened. So I mentioned Ali Vathauer in my prediction video last week or earlier this week whenever I did it, and how like I would love to see her in the top 15, but I didn't know if she would make it, and she did. She made it in the first call outs. This is her first year going to the Olympia ever. And she won a show, like, I think it was like the first or second show of the season. It was a class show. And she's taken some time. She competed last week and I think got sixth place. And then gets in first call outs at the Olympia. Are you kidding? I was so excited. And then another person who made it in first call outs is right here, Maria. Maria Acosta. So she is someone I also mentioned in my prediction that I would think would make top 15. I didn't know that she would place, I mean, you don't know anything. What am I? Anyway, I'm not a judge. I'm just a lover of the sport and a fan. So Maria made it into the first callouts, and she did have the thing happen that I was concerned about, which is her glutes sloping off when she walks, but that obviously did not stop her from fucking nailing it and getting into this first call out. So I was super happy about that. I was shook when I saw everyone walking on stage because we've seen a lot of people with like great density to their muscle this year. Like we've talked about Ashlyn, we've talked about Rihanna, and I was thinking that like they would definitely be making it in like, well, they did make it into the top 15, but yeah, I was surprised. Well, Rihanna didn't. Rihanna made it into the third or fourth call out. So yeah, I wasn't sure because that's a lot of muscle that we've been seeing, but they have really stuck to like not choosing people who are overly muscular. And that shows in these call outs. So in the first call out, we have Jasmine, Amy, Laura Lee, Maria, Ashley, Issa, Angelica, and Ali Vathauer. So super excited about that. Who do I think is winning? Well, I think Laura Lee is going to win. When she walked out, the confidence was just there. She is like, and she cleaned up her posing routine. It was way more to the point. None of those flourishes, like I was saying, I didn't like, even though what does it matter what I like or not? But none of the flourishes that she had last year and even at the Arnold. And then in the final four call out, we had Jasmine and Amy on the ends, Ashley and Laura Lee in the center. I still have Laura Lee winning. I was thinking for a sec, maybe they had Ashley winning because Ashley and Laura Lee pretty much stayed in the center in the first call out and in the first call out. And then in the final call out, Ashley and Laura Lee were in the middle, and then they moved Ashley out, brought Jasmine in, putting her into the center. So that made me think, well, maybe Ashley's winning, and they're still the night show. So even if they have one person winning and not the other, they're still the night show. So if they have to rejudge, they will rejudge. So it could still go either way. But anyway, when they moved Ashley out and brought Jasmine in, I was like, okay, so they're putting people next to Laura Lee to see who is going to be third place to Laura Lee. But then they brought Ashley back in and put Jasmine back out. So I'm thinking, no way. Maybe like it is Laura Lee winning and like Ashley is in second place. So they were seeing what third place looked like against Laura Lee. I don't know. I think Laura Lee is going to win. I would be stoked if Ashley won though. She was like bursting at the seams with fullness, which I'll show you. But yeah, so that's my take there. So my take on the other people in the first call out. Allie looked amazing. I think she's just a little bit too small up top. Her back pose, is killer, like incredibly balanced, super full glutes, looked amazing. Angelica, just a little bit soft. I think it's just from needing a little bit more density, but if she had more density, would she have made it into the first call out? Because we didn't see people with bigger density making it into the first call out like some of the people we would have expected. So I'll have to like look at those people so I can remember who I'm talking about. I'm just like, so this is such a whirlwind. This is an exciting Olympia. And then Issa was just soft in her back pose. Like her glutes were kind of squishing when she would walk. And then they kept her in for the second call out. And then they moved her around a lot in the second call out. And then Issa just like stopped smiling. She did not really have, not that you have to like, you know, be perfect and like smiling when things that you don't want to happen to you, but she started to lose that she stayed, I don't know if this is showing it. But yeah, when they end up moving her out, then she seems just like bummed. Like this. This is how she was for pretty much the rest of the call out. And then they call all them off. They do all of the other call outs, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and then they bring out top 8. So they bring out the bottom half of the top 8, and then they bring out for the final call out. So yeah. So anyway, Amy, my take on Amy is that she was coming in a little bit soft. She just didn't really have the pop this year. What you want is to look like you're bursting at the seams with your muscle. And Ashley Kay really brought that. Amy, not as much. She looked a little bit flat to me. And then Laura Lee looked like she got as much pop as she could while still maintaining balance. So Laura Lee's main thing is she's always told that she like needs to improve her balance because her glutes are too dominant. And this year, she didn't really have the pop, but she had enough pop, but an overall streamlined presentation where she's like smiling the entire time, making great eye contact with the judges, like exuding confidence, unlike Ashley, which is, I think, the separating factor between them this year, because Ashley was looking down a lot during her individual routine, which I'll show you. And then it wasn't until Ashley was turning around after facing the back that you start to see that confidence really build. And then they do the rest of the comparison rounds. The rest of the individuals, and then do the call outs. And then Ashley's confidence started building as she was in the call out and as she was like being put in the center. Obviously, how could it not? But what was also contributing to the lack of confidence that it was looking like was the way she looks around. It just seems like she's checking things off her list and not like it's effortless, like, oh, now I look around. I'm going to bask in the glory of being on the Olympia stage, already having won it 3 times in my life, approaching 50 wins. It's just more like, okay, now I do this. Okay, check. Now I do this. Check. And now I exit. So that's kind of my thoughts there. Jordan, I would like to, she kind of profiles a lot in that upper body, and in her back pose, it was just looking a little bit soft to me. But that is seeming to be a theme in these first couple of call outs. Like, they aren't choosing the people who are super muscular or super conditioned, which understandable about the conditioning thing. But yeah, I was like, she has an incredible structure. So yeah, that's kind of my thought with that. I have like notes on everyone, but I'm just trying to get through these first couple call outs. Ashlyn looked amazing. I think judges might just be thinking she's like a touch too muscular to be in that top 5 conversation, or at least top 4 conversation. She might be the 5th place, I'm not sure. Vanya got better as she kept doing her comparisons. Like, they were moving her out and then in, and she had great balance from top to bottom. Really incredible, commanding stage presence as usual. Maria, great stage presence. Like, you have so much fun watching her. So that's that. And then we had them bring out more people for tacking on from that, like, 8 to 15 spot. So they brought out Raina, which is one of the people we had in our prediction. Ariana, and then Kate Carroll and Jordan Brandon were in here. So this year, Jordan has brought like this incredible pop to her physique that she has never had before. It's incredible to see. In the past, what she was lacking was that wow factor. Everything, it's that classic thing where it's like good everywhere, not great anywhere. But she had that, but she didn't have the attitude. It's like the attitude and it factor, and then the pop in her glutes that she now has, that I think were holding her back. But you can tell that her physique is totally changing. That year off from winning Hurricane last year, qualifying her for this year, really helped her out. And now she's already qualified again because she just won Legion. And then we have Kate Carroll. So she was someone who was like in that, in a lot of people's heads for a dark horse this year. And the reason for that is she has great balance, really beautiful pop to her physique. But what really put her name on the map for a lot of people is she beat Ashley Kay in Texas. So Ashley Kay came in super full to that show, looked great, similar to how she looks today. And she lost to Kate Carroll, and Kate Carroll had lost to Ashley, getting second place at the Mile High, which was like, it was just such a bummer because she comes from New Zealand, so she was like doing American shows here, and then like all the shows she was doing like happened to have Ashley in them. Like, and Ashley doesn't often do Texas shows. Mile High, it's a given she's gonna do it because she does that every year. That was her comeback show in 2018, after she took all of 2017 off. But the reason I did not have her as one of my dark horses is because when Ashley Kay does a show, she is not shy about telling you that she's going to be doing the show. It's not like you're waiting till Monday to see the list to see if Ashley's going to do it. Ashley announces things beforehand. Yeah, she announced things beforehand. So when she does that, fewer pros sign up to do that show. Because, I mean, I'm a pro, so if I was like, I can only do one show, let's assume I could just make it to the Olympia in one show. Obviously, that is not the case. I just went pro in March, and I have a long ways to go before I'll even ever meet any of these people, because there's no way I'm doing a show anytime soon. But let's assume that I have the perfect physique, and I am able to win a pro show on my first try. I would not choose the Mile High or Nevada State or a show that Ashley historically does because Ashley's doing it, and if I only have one shot, I'm probably not going to go up against someone who has 49 wins. So a lot of people will not sign up when they know she's doing a show. So fewer people are at those shows. So there were 15, maybe less people at the show that Kate Carroll well, sorry, not at that show, but just in general. If a big name is signing up, fewer people do the show. So that's why Kate Carroll was not one of my dark horses, because fewer really talented people sign up when Ashley Kay is going to do a show. We saw a similar thing happen with Ariana here when she announced she was doing Battle of the Bodies and started looking really good this season after not looking close to how she looked last year for the beginning half of the season. And you saw only 12 people total were in that show. I have an inkling that it was because people were trying to qualify, and they only had that's the last show of the year to qualify that Ariana was doing. So if I'm trying to get that last qualification, like Ashley Hampton, who we'll see at some point here, did end up doing, she got qualified on the last chance, and now she's qualified for next year. I would not do the show Ariana is doing. So long-winded way of saying, Kate Carroll was not a dark horse, but she looked incredible. She's just a little bit undersized compared to where she would need to be. Ariana looked great, but a little soft in the lower body, unfortunately. I think they were really pushing that fullness, and they pushed it a little too far relative to replacing last year. Obviously, it looks like she's still going to make it in this top 15 today. But yeah, that's my thoughts there. And then we saw Evie. Evie was looking really good. Evie shows a lot of chest for me. I don't know if that's just a structural thing, if she can't pull the suit in any further towards the center. So if she also added more fabric to cover up more of the center, then the top would swallow her up. But either way, I wanted to mention that I think the pink suit was a really great move for her, because pink is a softer color that will make a hard physique appear a little bit softer. So since she usually comes in pretty hard and grainy, specifically in the core, I think it was a really good move to choose a pink today. It looks like Alice Roca will also make it into the top 15, which I was stoked about when I became really serious about trying to turn pro. I was always stalking the overall winners of all the shows, and she won the overall at Junior USA's in 2021 or 2022. So I've been wanting to see her do well since then, because she was one of the people I was okay, I need to look at this person so I can do my best to get to the point that she's at. And yeah, now I have a longer way to go because she's making it into the top 15 at the Olympia. Reina is another person that made it in. So we talked about her in the prediction video I made, where I was saying that her suits just don't have that same vibrancy and brilliance that other people's suits do. The vibrancy was there today. It was really beautiful. The stones were great. I think it is just the shape of the top itself that makes her chest to look a little bit saggy. I think she just needs a new suit company, or the suit designer could make her a different cut for the top. That would be a little bit more flattering, because I don't think she already struggles with her front pose, and I don't think that top is doing her any favors. If she had a more streamlined suit, from Toxic, we see Tamikia's wearing an angel suit, but Jordan, Ariana, and Tara are all wearing toxic suits, and they're just a little bit more streamlined. And part of what makes them streamlined is so many people wear them, so they're just kind of the norm. So if she had a different suit top, I think that would help her out. Makeup still left a lot to be desired. It just looks like maybe a little bronzer, maybe just a little bronzer, and maybe not a red lip, maybe like something with a little color to it. It doesn't have to be red, but it just looks like very muted. So that bums me out. Still, everyone who makes it into top 15, they look unreal. Like every detail is perfect. Hair, makeup, suit, tan, conditioning, everything. So the fact that she is not perfect with like things that are easily fixable, like her makeup and her suit cut, and she's still probably making it into this top 15, if not top 20, even though it's only scored through 15th place, that really says something. So that is, that's something to definitely be aware of. Tamikia, loved seeing Tamikia. She had what we talked about, which is that little bit of softness in the lower part of her glute when she moves, which was too bad. I said that I was worried about that in my prediction, but then I started seeing pictures on her Instagram of her looking like crazy in those glute ham tie-ins, and I was like, oh, maybe she's gonna show up like that, but she wasn't moving in those, so it's hard to say. But is this gonna show it? Yeah, look at, she definitely has ties. It's when she moves that they become soft. So that was a disappointment. She placed 15th last year after winning Sasquatch last year. So yeah, there was that. And then I already said who I thought was gonna win. I think Laura Lee's gonna win, but I would be so happy for Ashley if she won. Amy, I think, is solidly in 4th place. It doesn't really look like she's in the conversation. But Jasmine was so cute. Look how cute Jasmine was when she, when they sign off for their Final Four call out. When she realizes that, that's that. I don't know if I can get there. This is not, a very easy, little toggle switch to move. But, yeah. Whatever. Okay, you get it. Do you get it? I don't know. I didn't show you. Does she get excited there? I don't know. Whatever. She got excited, obviously. She's in top 4. Okay, so there's that. And then, okay, let's see. I have Ashley. Yeah, her confidence boosted throughout. I would like to see her hair a little bit shorter, because it's touching her glutes here. You can see that, when she's getting into it, it does not touch her glutes. It's a really good length. But then when she, settles into her back pose, then it starts to touch those glutes, which I don't love. So that's just, an easy thing. She could easily trim her hair a little bit. And I'm trying not to show too much in case this is, copywritten, which it is, obviously. But is it copywritten if I do? Okay, yeah, perfect length, and then touches her glutes. So, yeah, that was a bummer. Okay, I'm gonna get this off my screen. So, yeah. Oh, did I already mention Laura Lee's suit change? How she was, hyping up her suit change and then it ended up just being blue. Blue but velvet. So that was a major departure from her usual shock. That was the shock of the show. Laura Lee's new suit was the shock of the show. Okay, I already talked about her conditioning, how it was spot on, didn't do the flourishes. Maria Costa, we talked about that. Amy, not really muscular. Oh yeah, one thing that I wanted to change about Amy's presentation, so she got into her back pose, and then her hair was still on her shoulders. And then she was about to get out of her back pose, but then she shook her hair again, making sure it got off her shoulders. And I was like, yes, go Amy, way to go, good stage IQ. And then she turns around to walk to the front, and then she does hair, moves it. The reason I remember if I said this already is I tried filming this once and it was all over the place, even more so than right now. So maybe I already said this, but then she moved it again, and it's not giving in the way I think she thinks it's giving. It just looks like an extra thing, which I didn't love. So there's that. Oh, and then there was one point when Jessica Wilson was just serving it was cunty. Her exit was so cunty. I have to show you. Okay, watch when she goes through the back curtain exiting stage. It is like, okay, watch this. You have to see this. It's so good. Look, she just boop like opens those curtains. It was okay. Is it just me or was that a serve? That was so good. I loved it. It was just like, that is called stage presence from beginning to end. The moment your foot steps on stage to the moment you step off stage behind those curtains, like, that was so good. I was obsessed. Yeah, so I had to point that out. Such a serve. And then we have, oh yeah, Amy, the hair touch looks effortful. Loved that she did straight hair. Loved the straight hair on Amy. I was really hoping she would do straight hair this year. So I was happy about that. And then, pink suits, I said Valeria and Evie, they had pink suits, which really softened them up in a good way, because usually they come in pretty conditioned. And then Ashley's vacuum is something that was standing out to me on stage. And then Ashley Hampton's suit. I don't love the silvery tones to this suit, this lilac with the silvery tone. It just is not working for me. I think she needs something a little bit like warmer or just more vivid. Like, this is just not vivid, so it's not popping for me. So I would really, and what matters is what's working for me. And it's not, so I want us to change it. But anyway, Ashley K, the vacuum was distracting for me. So that was something that I had a little note of. Brittany Gillespie, I do have a note on her. Her front pose, it's so good, but it's so good that it's like, is it oh, there's Valeria in the pink suit. Which was really, that was a serve. So yeah, her front glute is just so dominant that I don't know what the judges want from her. She said on her story they know what the judges want from her, which is good. I would love if she would tell us. Because I need to know what they want, because her physique is unreal. Another person I followed who won the overall at a national show. Okay. And then we have strong first comparison around Val. Talked about that. Ashley's vacuum. Yulia's bottoms. I really don't like Yulia's bottoms. Yulia looked great. Like, her back pose. Are there people with such a good back pose? Obviously, yeah, but like, she is a real standout. Funny August. So here's Yulia. I really don't like the bottoms. They give diaper. Like, there's like bunching. And I think this is one of those suits that has the elastic band to make sure it lays on you, like to make sure you don't get that gaping at the front, but it's at the sacrifice of that wrinkling in the front, which I think is distracting. Like, I think you can just get bottoms that fit. Like, it's great if it has the elastic. Again, I don't know if this is one of them, but it's distracting for me. And it's Jordan Brandon had a similar thing. So yeah, and maybe it's like a bikini bite thing, like they used glue and then that part stuck to them, so the rest is kind of gathering together. But I don't love that. But she looks great. Like, look at this back pose. I mean, for real. I'm probably showing too much of the stream. Look at the back pose. Okay, I'll move that there so I don't get copywritten, which I should probably. Ariana's makeup. Ariana's makeup was looking dull to me, I'll be honest. I'll pull up Ariana Brothers IG. Her makeup was looking dull, and that was a bummer for me because her coach specifically was like, I didn't like her makeup at the Tampa show. She needed new lipstick, and then she puts on this lipstick that it was just dull. And the eye was a little bit too dark. So I was disappointed because it looked kind of like blah on stage. And you want your makeup to like be you, but amped up. You, but like extra. Like you are a Victoria's Secret model, so you rolled out of bed just looking perfect like you do in the Victoria's Secret ads. Wooby was another one with the silvery tones to the suit like we talked about with Ashley Hampton. Okay, yeah, here's Ariana's makeup. I think the makeup leaves some to be desired. See what I mean? So yeah, there's that. And then we have, Jordan's posing. What the fuck was this angle? Why would especially Jordan, like such a high level competitor, are you kidding me? Not that they aren't all, but this was the angle for her entire posing routine. I was like, what am I looking at? What the fuck? And she was not the only one they did that with. And then they stopped after Tamikia Carter, so early on in the alphabetical order, Carter, they did the first half of her routine at that angle, and then they went to the front angle. But I was like, what are you doing to these people? Let me see this stream. So I didn't like that. Okay. And then Jordan, we talked about her front pose, how she's kind of leaning forward. And I think, it's not a glute competition. I know it's not a glute competition, but, the glutes are just, they were looking a little bit, soft to me. They're not soft, but they were looking a little bit soft. And I don't know what it is. So, and they looked similar last year, honestly. But yeah, there just wasn't really that pop for me that I would like to see. But Jordan's stage presence is impeccable. Like, does it get much better? Like, she looks amazing on stage. She owns it. Every movement has an intention behind it. Like, she is very fun to watch on stage. And I did orange wouldn't be my first pick, but it looked fab. Yeah. What you don't want with the suit is you want to wear the suit. You don't want the suit to wear you. And I don't think the suit wore her. And on a lot of people, it would have worn her. Like the neon orange, it would have worn them. And then I have Adair. I love Adair. The only reason I didn't put her in my top 15, is because her glutes, what a problem to have, are overpowering in comparison to the rest of her physique. Like, she has so much density, and on top of that, she arches a lot. So, yeah, she arches a lot, which makes them look even more powerful in her front pose. So, yeah, that was my take on her. But I really liked her stage presence. She looked great. I won't even... Oh, there she is. I was going to say I won't even bother, but here I am bothering. See? She's not settled, obviously, but she leaves her pelvis tilted like that during her routine. Oh, and another thing with Issa that I was like, WTF? It was like, what was with the bump it? Like... She was wearing a bump it, basically. But it wasn't like Ashlyn's hair that, like, goes up like that. It was... NPC IG. It was in, like, the back of her hair. And then the hair on the front of her face was flat. So we can see it here. There's a bump it back there, and then it was laying flat against her, which I did not like. I thought it looked kind of awk. And when you compare that to, like Ashlyn's hair or Tara Greer's hair, they have it like this, which I think is cute. Ashlyn's hair from the back, it was looking piecey and a little bit short, like the curls were a little bit too tight, so I would have changed that, but that's what I mean. So, yeah, Maxine looked amazing. There was something up with her tan on her glutes. It was looking... like she had dark patches on her glutes. I really am just like begging for this video to be taken down with how much I'm going through here. But yeah, when she moved, and someone commented on my prediction video asking about Maxine. I'm a huge Maxine fan. I really like her. I see her doing really well in the future. But like you can just see there's like it looks green. See that like dark spot? So yeah, that, could have been improved. Jessica Wilson, yeah, I already talked about how fabulous her exit was. So yeah, I think that, the top 8 were Maria, Vanya, Ashlyn, Issa, Lauralee, Jasmine, Ashley, and Amy. And I have no idea who's gonna win. I'm really excited to see. So yeah, that's pretty much my recap. I don't have anything else to say. I'm just rambling now, but that's my take. Okay, goodbye.